Veritas Pilipinas.
Tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa ating paglilingkod. Ayan, Nanay Jing Manipolanzona and of course Father Nono Alfonso S.J. mula sa Ateneo de Manila University. At ngayong umaga, ayan, Padre, sa ating pagsubaybay sa investigasyon dito sa lower house, talagang kapag napakikinggan at napanonood po natin ito, talagang lumalakas ang loob natin at nabubuhayan tayo ng pag-asa. Buhay na buhay, na buhay na buhay at magigiting matatalino ang ating pong mga representante. Ano po? At congratulations sa mga taga Batangas ay diyan sa 3rd District. Ay napakahusay po ng inyong representative. Ay talagang sabi nga, Padre, representative ng kanilang distrito. Ayan. Okay, ang tinutukoy po namin, mapalad po tayo ngayong umaga. Sabi nga ni Father kanina, kaliwat kanan ang investigasyon, pero dito sa lower house, back to back ito, yung investigasyon sa Pogo. Okay, nakaharap pa na yung mga interpellations niya. Interpellation? Tama ba? Hindi ako abogado eh. Okay, alamin natin sa kanya live, via Zoom, ang magiting na mambabatas mula sa Batangas 2nd District, si Honorable Jervil Jinky Luistro. Magandang umaga, Kong.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, gusto ko lang mag-introduce, humble correction. I am from 2nd District of Batangas po.
Second. Sorry. 3rd ba yung sinabi ko? 2nd. Yeah. I stand corrected. Thank you so much po.
Let me shortly greet my kababayan, Mabini, Bawan, San Pascual, San Luis, Lubo, and Tingloy. Isang maulang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And of course, sa buong sambayan ng Pilipino, ma'am.
Papa, narito po si Father Nono, isang Jesuita mula sa Ateneo de Manila University.
Good morning po. Wow, tingnan niyo.
Good morning, Father Nono.
Nasa sasakyan po kayo Saan po kayo pupunta? Sa Kongreso ba?
We are on our way to Congress kasi nakaschedule po ang ating susunod na quad this 9:30 in the morning.
Wow. Thank you so much. Kahit umulan, nagtatrabaho. Congresswoman, ang dami niyo po kasi pinupunta ang hearings and we salute you. Ang una po namin tanong yung dun sa Department of Education, yung sa budget hearing muna po. Ano po yung mga, kumbaga, natuklasan ninyo doon po sa budget hearing?
Well, apart from natuklasan ng aking kapwa mambabatas, from my end, ako'y masyadong na-disturb nitong napakalaking pondo for Department Computerization Program. Kasama dito, Father, ang laptop, computer set, e-learning center, and even smart TV. This is 11 point something billion. At labis na nakakalungkot na ang na-disburse lang nila is only 2 billion. This is in the face of the overwhelming demand of our public schools, teachers, at mga estudyante for an online learning system or computerized learning system, At what is surprising, Father, dito, out of 11 billion na appropriation, 2 billion lang ang disbursement. Aba, nung tinignan ko, Father, ang accomplishment, 0. Wow. 0%. So, ibig sabihin sa kapila ng suportang ipinagkaloob ng Kongreso, ng mababa kapulungan at ng Senado, na mapagkalooban ang Department of Education ng 11 billion para masuportahan ang pangangailangan for information and communication technology. Bukod sa hindi nagamit, ang malaking bahagi ng pondo ay walang na-deliver.
Wow.
I am talking about the audit observation memo of COA as of December 31, 2023. And this was confirmed by the Program Implementation Director when he stated na ang average ng accomplishment for the current appropriation of 2023 budget is only 3%. 3%, Father, ibig sabihin 97% ang hindi realized. Tapos, I tried to ask him, Father, what caused the delay? Who caused the delay? Ang sagot sa atin, they prioritize the continuing fund. Pag sinabi po natin continuing, ito po yung pondong hindi nagamit from 2022 appropriation, from 2022 budget. At totoo po, meron pa pong natira silang 9 billion na in-implement nila noong 2023, yung 8 billion. And according to him, almost accomplished na yon, although pag tinignan nyo po yung AOM, Audit Observation Memo ng COA, similar to 2023, naka 0% din ang accomplishment.
Wow.
I was trying to explain to our program implementation director, kung ganun rin lang naman pala, na ang inyong priority ay 2022 at hindi nyo kakayaning i-implement itong 2023, then why did you request it and lobby for 11 billion for 2023 budget, no? Then, yes, Father, and then as we go along, Father, no, as we go along, nag-observe po ako dito sa aking mga kasamang napakahuhusay na congressman. And then, the turn of Congressman Bongalion came, no? And as I was listening to him, ang dami niyang revelation na nito pa lang 2023, nagkaroon na ng bidding, same fund, Father, yung pinag-uusapan natin, no? Nagkaroon na pala ng bidding ng 16 lots, 2 lang yung ini-award, yung 14th, inulit, nag-rebidding. And what is strange, kung sino yung supplier dun sa first bidding, sila ulit ang supplier dun sa second bidding. Dun sa first bidding, makakatipid ang government ng 24% of the contract amount. Pero hindi nila tinuloy. Inulit nila yung bidding at ang naging variant, 1% na lang ang magiging savings. So, he was deliberating on the 1.6 billion na dapat naging savings ng gobyerno. He was trying to ask, ano ba talagang naging dahilan? Bakit kayo nagkaroon ng second bidding? Same supplier. Tapos, mas ginusto nyo pa yung konting savings for the government instead of the 1.6 billion equivalent to 24%, no? And another significant incident that happened during that time, Father, ay nagpalit pala ng procurement head at nagpalit din ng bank chairman. So, I really concur with Congressman Bongalion. These are significant irregularities na may connection, I think, with the delay that we established already in the implementation of the continuing budget as well as the current budget of DepEd, no? And these are the reasons, Father, why I move for the issuance of subpoena duces tecto para once and for all, i-produce nyo na lahat ng bidding and procurement documents 2022, 2023, and 2024. Kasi may sinasabi pa silang early procurement ng 2024. Come to think of it, alam pala nila yung early procurement. Bakit natatampakan sila ng unutilized fund?
Yes.
Diba? Ang purpose kasi natin, Father, why we are conducting this budget briefing is not only to establish the need, but to determine also the capability of the agency to implement and utilize the budget being given by the government. No? So, I even move, Father, for the conduct of an independent investigation.
Oh, wow.
Apart from the budget briefing, kasi ito pong mga facts na ito, significant information na to, ay na-discover namin during the budget briefing for 2025 budget. And I have explained a lot of times already, part of our oversight function, we can look back. Ano ba ang naging performance ng agency pagdating sa mga previous budget nila? And while we are deliberating on the budget of DepEd, under the new Secretary Sani Angara, ito yung mga naging observations namin. Siyempre may AOM, may Audit Observation Memo and ang COA. So that will instantly invite our attention already. Bakit nagka-AOM ang COA? And then during the interpellation, during the question and answer, hindi talaga nakakasatisfy yung sagot ng taga-DepEd plus all the revelations of Congressman Bongalion. So, ay pinagtatrabaho lang. I felt really the need that we conduct an independent investigation on this.
Okay. Nanay Jing? Nanay Jing?
Yes. Opo. Ang nakalulungkot, Congresswoman, may pera pero hindi nagamit. Yun ang pinakamasaklap. Samantalang napakataas ng pangangailangan ng classrooms. Nga, ayon sa COA, out of 6,300 target classrooms na dapat ipinatayo, 192 lamang ang na-deliver. So ang nagsasuffer talaga yung atin pong mga estudyante at ang atin pong mga guro. Yun ang mas masaklap, Father, may pera pero hindi nagamit ng tama. Ayan.
Alam mo ba, ma'am, sa mga probinsya, makakakita ka pa ng mga estudyante na nagklaklase sa ilalim ng puno ng mangga
Hanggang ngayon, diba? Yes. Opo.
Pero, yes, you are true na, it is true na labis na nakakalungkot na bagaman binibigyan ng suporta ng Kongreso ang ahensya para ma-address itong mga pangangailangang ito, ganito yung mga nadidiscover natin.
Okay.
At hindi lang ito, Nanay Jing, meron din controversy pagdating dito sa mga Nutriban, yung isinusupply na pagkain na narinig ko lang during the investigation, parang sira na, may amag na, things like that. Nakakalungkot sapagkat ang dami ng pangangailangan sa DepEd, may pondo, and yet ganito ang mga nagiging observation natin pagdating sa implementation.
Opo. Congresswoman, isang question na lamang po, pero nangihinayang kami at konti lang ang oras natin. Moving forward po, the same personality naman po, si VP Sara, nagkaroon din po ng budget hearing. So, dahil dito sa masasabi po ba natin, hindi siya epektibo na naging DepEd Secretary, dahil sa kung ang pagbabasehan po natin, itong COA report, merong underutilized, mismanagement, etc. dun sa budget. Sa tingin ninyo, sa hinihingi niyang budget sa Office of the Vice President, ano po ang tinatahak na direksyon?
I think the new secretary acknowledged already the irregularities in the past administration of DepEd, and he expressed his commitment, particularly si Secretary Sani Angara, our new secretary. He expressed his commitment to address all these problems, and tingin ko kailangan natin siya bigyan ng chance. Otherwise, we will not be able to address all the problems in DepEd after all these revelations, So, I think we should appreciate and evaluate the budget of DepEd for 2025 apart and detached from the past administration. Kasi magkaibang leadership ang pinag-uusapan natin dito
Okay.
Alright. Maraming salamat.
May kinig po kami sa inyong mga hearings. Maraming salamat po, Congresswoman.
Maraming salamat din po at magandang umaga po sa lahat ng ating mga listeners.
Pa-regards po kay Attorney Harry Roque.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.
Opo. At kay Miss Cassandra Ong as well.
Thank you.
Mabuhay po kayo. Ipinagdarasal po namin kayo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much. Yan po ang magiting na representative ng 2nd District dyan sa Batangas, si Attorney Jervil Jinky Luistro.